You ever get a call or a voicemail that when you listen to it, it completely stops you in your tracks? And the voicemail causes your heart to race and beat fast because you know what's getting ready to be said is something really serious? Well, I got that call. And it started off something like this. Hello, this is Detective X. I'm calling you on a case that we are investigating on identity theft and credit card fraud. And we have a suspect in custody that we issued a warrant on their cell phone. And in their phone, we found your information. What's up, y'all? It's the gambler. And we talking about identity theft, credit card fraud, and finally, them catching a suspect. Well, the part that always seems to be like a black hole is you never know if they caught anyone. You never know what happened to your case. You don't know anything. And for me, because this have happened to me a couple of times in the past, that was my end result. I never knew what happened. But this time it's different, y'all. They got their ass. And when I tell you he is scary, he's scary. So let's get into it. After I got the voicemail, I contacted the detective. And this is what she told me. She told me that they had had a suspect in custody for a different case than mine, and that they were in Florida at a police department in Florida, and that they issued a search warrant for the suspect's cell phone. And when they executed that search warrant, in that suspect's phone, they found my personal contact information. And they also found evidence that this suspect had been using my identity and my credit card personal information to commit identity theft and credit card fraud. And they wanted to confirm with me if I had experienced or know of anybody using my identity or my credit cards. And I confirmed with her, yes. So after that conversation, the next step that she told me that I would need to do is to fill out an affidavit, because what they wanted to do is they wanted to bring charges against him for my case. They already had pending charges against his outstanding cases. And I say cases because he had outstanding cases. So I did my due diligence, and this is one thing that you guys have to do. You have to stay on your feet, because the next thing I asked her was, how do I know that you are not the suspect, or you are not working with the suspect? How do I know that you are an actual detective and work for this police department? And what she did was provide me the proof information. She gave me the case number. She gave me the police report number. She gave me her badge number. She gave me the website where I could go to the police department and actually, and it was a .gov, and actually verify her identity. Also, I could verify the police report. And she also gave me the suspect's name, and that I could verify the case and see all of the information about the case. Now, let's move on. How did they catch? The way they caught him was he had defrauded another person, an older gentleman in Florida. And what he had did was is he basically, you guys know, and so this is something to look out for, because These crooks, they're using technology. They are smart. And remember in the video, in one of the previous videos, I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but remember I told you guys that I think the crook actually called me on the phone, that I was actually talking to them. But anywho, the way that they caught him, he had contacted a gentleman in Florida and basically sent them a text. You guys know how y'all get a text, how we all get a text from what we think is our credit card company. And that text may say, this charge was charged to your credit card. Did you make this charge for X amount of dollars at X location at this particular time? Text yes or no. Reply yes or no. And when you reply, you're thinking it's going to the credit card company. Well, no. The suspect created this text and sent the text to this older gentleman. The older gentleman responded back to the text and said no. And when he said no, they then called him on the phone and presented themselves as the bank and told him, we need you to transfer this money out of your account over into this account. I know a lot of you guys are going to be quick to say, I would have never did that. I would have picked up on that. I would have knew that was fraud. I said the same thing. But I'm going to tell you guys, as sharp as I am, and I know I'm very sharp and I'm always quick on my feet. When somebody is stealing your money and it's happening very fast and it feels and it actions in quick time, you can be panicked and stressed. And sometimes you're not thinking as clearly as you think you would be thinking. Like right now, you're rational. You can thoroughly think about what you're going to do, your actions. But in the heat of the moment, sometimes your decision making can get blurred, and sometimes you can make mistakes. So do not assume that they could never get you. No, don't assume that. But anyway, that's how they got this victim money. And so the victim, once they realized they were frauded, and once they realized they had sent their money somewhere off into Never Never Land, they said, oh shit. I think I've been robbed, pretty much. I don't know exactly what they said, but I know that's probably what I would have said. So they quickly contacted police. And the way that they was able to catch the suspect, this dummy had the money sent to his own personal account. And that's how they was able to catch him. That's how they tracked him down and arrested him. And when they arrested him, they issued a warrant for his properties and searched his properties. That's how they found my information and several other victims' information. And they contacted each and every one of us. So now I'm going to quickly tell you about the affidavit process and what happened in my case. In that affidavit, it had the suspect's name. It had what personal information of mine that the suspect had, what the suspect did with my information, and did I give that suspect permission to have my information and to use my information. And I had to basically take that affidavit, print it out, and take it to a notary. So I took my affidavit to the notary at my bank and had to show my identification and basically sign it, and she notarized it. And then from there, I just basically took it and scanned it in and emailed it back to the detective. make sure that you confirm that that detective got your affidavit. If you have to email it to them, if you're not in a situation where you could actually take it into the police department and actually physically give it to them. In my case, I had to email it because this detective was in Florida, and I'm not located in the state of Florida. The way he was operating, he was basically, well, first of all, how did he get my information? He bought, remember I in the video, in this video, I told you how they could actually end up getting your information. Well, that's how he got my information. He got my information off of the black web. He bought my information off of the black web. Once I looked at the case and saw his status and saw whether he was in custody, it sort of looked a little shaky of whether he was still in custody or not. So I called the police department to find out if he was still in custody. And they confirmed to me at that time that he was still in custody and that he was being transported from Florida to South Carolina to face additional charges on crimes that he had committed in South Carolina. So, lessons from this experience. One, it's a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I feel like I've woken up from that nightmare at this point. But the lessons I've learned was first, identity theft, credit card fraud is real. Second, protecting your personal information is not optional anymore. It's a necessity. You got to protect your personal information. Third, if something suspicious shows up on your credit report, on your credit card statements, you get a weird phone call, a weird text, don't ignore it. Act immediately. You guys know the routine. If you got value from this video, or if you didn't get value from this video, I need you to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, join the email list. I really would appreciate it. And I hope that this information was very helpful to you guys, because the more people know about how these particular criminals operate and how this type of activity, identity theft and credit card fraud happens, the more you guys can better protect yourselves. So I hope these series of these videos were very helpful to you to basically allow you guys to better protect yourselves. So I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I'm going to see y'all on the other side of another video.